Well, we are back on jack stands. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Check this video out. So as you can see, another trans. That is the fourth time I've had a trans related issue. The bolts came out somehow. I have such an issue with bolts. I mean, I even Loctited this one. I don't get it. I'm gonna play for you really quick the video. I was actually coming home. It was the same day that I had all the stickers put on. I was pulling into the driveway and heard this sound. So needless to say, jacked it up the next day and found the crack. I took that video, the video of the crack and the thing moving around, and I watched it and I was like, nothing's wrong here. And then I watched it a second time and I saw it. So my plan right now is to drop the trans. I'm gonna have someone weld that. I do have another transmission sitting here on the bench, but I have some other plans for that transmission that we'll talk about later. So let's get this trans out of the car. First things first, let's get the oil draining. We'll take the wheels off and then we'll start working on the top side. Look at that. While I was taking off the half shaft, I found the bolt that cracked my transmission. And it was causing me to have just a heck of a time trying to get that stupid half shaft off. When I was trying to pull my speedo cable out, it appears that the cable has rusted into the sensor. This trans has only been in this car like not even a year. I had to pull the entire sensor out. What a pain. Well, at least we've moved on from there. So we got the motor mount, the T-case, which means I probably have to drop the O2 housing, or not the O2 housing, the downpipe as well, because I usually can't get the bolts out of the T-case or the T-case itself out with that 3-inch downpipe there. And then just gotta yank that trans, so not too bad. Oh yeah, that slave cylinder's gotta come out too. Oh, my least favorite part. It's always the downpipe. Such a pain in the butt. It's not that bad, but it is. I never know which size it is, but it's a 15 and a 16. I won't remember that for next time though. And yes, I do have different size bolts. Well, my camera wasn't really focusing on the low light, but I have pretty much everything out. So now it is time to drop the transmission. All right, well, there we go. Let's see, how long has it been? It's been about an hour and 15 minutes. Not bad. So let's take a little look-see here. And there's just oil all over. So there you can see the crack. So it hasn't really gotten too bad. Should just be able to have someone do a nice little weld on that, clean this whole thing up, and then throw it back together. I had been hearing some weird noises from the throwout bearing as well, so I'm gonna be just doing a nice little inspection while everything is out, making sure we're gonna be good. Let's just double check here. Still got that ear, and I still got that ear, so the block survived. That is awesome, dude. It's like 80 degrees and humid. Minnesota gets really humid in the summers, and I'm like dripping sweat and oil, but that is a job well done. I'm happy to have the trans out now. Just gotta get it cleaned up and find someone to weld it. This transmission, I picked it up last fall. I started taking it apart during quarantine, but as you can see, that's kind of as far as I got. I'm gonna end up pulling this out because I have to figure out what gear set is in here so that I can let the builder know. Yeah, builder. We're gonna have a nice trans built. I'm sick of having trans problems, and I am definitely going to get better at doing bolt checks because this car needs it. At least all the main important ones, things that are going to cause big problems.
3 days later.
Alright, well, it's been a couple of days and we're back in the garage. I've been on here for a little bit already cleaning up the transmission. I did find someone who's going to weld it up, but I just want to show you guys, now that I have everything a little bit more clean, you can really see that crack. So it goes all the way down to here, all the way up. You can see it right there. Nice little split. And then all the way down. So not really terrible, but it's gonna be tricky to weld. It does look like a job that can be done, so I feel confident. While I am cleaning the transmission, I'm inspecting things, inspecting the clutch release arm, whatever the heck, I don't remember exactly what that's called. The throwout bearing still seems okay. It still feels really good. I know I've heard some noise, but I think it's just clutch chatter on cold start. I do have my pivot ball shimmed, so I was just inspecting that. That was the first time I'd ever actually shimmed it myself, so I just kind of wanted to look at that. It seems like this seal might be seeping a little bit but it also doesn't look like a seal that I can easily replace, so I think I'm just gonna send that one. I don't plan on running this transmission too long after Colorado. It does look like I destroyed this output shaft seal, so we'll definitely be getting a new one of those. Besides that, I'm just trying to clean up the inside of this transmission. As far as the engine side of the car, I'm gonna be pulling the clutch again and the flywheel. I do actually have another flywheel for it. I bought a resurfaced one for when I inevitably pulled the transmission again, so we're gonna go ahead and throw that on, clean the clutch up, make sure that everything looks good, and then we will be installing that once again. We are now about 2 weeks from when we leave for the trip. I want to get this thing back on the road as soon as I can so I can get some shakedown miles on it and make sure that the car's going to be okay and not have any issues from this little mini rebuild. I feel good about it, but I'm nervous. It's going to be a lot of miles. It kind of looks like we might need a new rear main. Well, it looks like the rear main seal itself is okay. It looks like the rear main seal gasket, however, is not. This is the clutch. This clutch only has, as you guys know, what, 2,500 miles on it. Looks like it's got some glazing going on. Just like the insides here, looks like it's been worn a little funky. The pressure plate side looks like it's had some heat put into it for sure, and I do believe that this clutch has slipped a time or two. I don't know, you tell me. That looks pretty glazed. That shit looks like a mirror. It does still hold. It holds really well. The only time it ever slipped on me was when it was really hot at the track, and a lot of that glazing, whatever, is probably from me slipping the clutch pretty hard when I was at the track as well. I haven't had any issues with anything else besides that. It does also look like, you can see here, some oil and grease has made it onto the pressure plate. So I'm gonna clean that up really nice as well before I reinstall that. But I think now that I'll have the inspection plate and the little cover for the throwout fork, clutch fork, it should be better at least. I've been thinking a lot about the horsepower levels that I want this car to be at. Now, I've had this car at 500 horsepower, and it was awesome. It didn't last very long, though. I don't know if that was because I built it, or because it's a DSM and it's an old car. But I'm thinking about, I love this car, and I don't ever want to get rid of it, but that power level, for me, I don't know if it's something that I can keep. The setup that it's on right now with the 68 HTA, while I'm not huge on the way it looks, it's a reliable power level. I can pretty much boost this thing as much as I want, and it's really not too concerning. I don't know. Lots of thoughts going through my head. What do you guys think? Find something else that I can make a bunch of power on and keep this thing as like a show car, stockish, still very fun to drive car. It's kind of the way I'm leaning. What I decide to do with this transmission decides the future of this car, because there's either full send dog box or just a nice professional rebuilt transmission that should last me a while, especially at a near stock power level. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. For now though, I think I'm at a place where I feel I can end the video. It's so hot, I'm like sweating buckets right now. It's like 90 degrees and 75–80% humidity. It's actually like 85 degrees, but the 80% humidity is insane. So I am going to go inside and probably shower again for the second time today. Let me know in the comments. I'm still up in the air about what I'm doing, but we're for sure putting the car back on the road, because how could I part with this thing? You guys would never let me live that down, and I would never let myself of that down. So thanks for watching. Make sure to drop a like. Thanks for staying this far into the end of the video. Comment below as well if you did stay towards the end, because I know that a lot of you are, but you might as well comment it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.